I'll go ahead and get the presentation started. So,
He's going to have several seconds of delay, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds. So fortunately, we did not have any members of the public that wanted to participate. So that's it. Okay, so Brian can hear us. So I'm going to go ahead and do the presentation. All right. For folks viewing us remotely, I apologize for any quality issues. We'll be working on this system. At any rate, tonight we are reviewing case 2020-06P2. The applicant is Brian Dole, representing. He's actually with CUC, but the property future user of the property is Cherokee Self Storage. The property is located at 11573 Deerfield Road, and this is the total acreage for this property, and this is kind of an interesting case. Total acreage for their plan is 2.16 acres. However, only just over an acre of that is within the township. Let's see. My screen share went off. 1 second. There we go. Everybody should be able to see that. The township portion is just over 1 acre, and that actually has the frontage on Deerfield Road of 282 feet. The ISR for the entire site, so all 2 acres, is currently just over 69%. The township portion of the proposed development is going to be just under 81 at 80.8%. Total site, again, 52.8. I guess what I'm asking the board to do tonight, same thing I discussed with zoning commission, is while we only have jurisdiction over the township portion of this, I think we need to look holistically at this site, give it a comprehensive review, and just take in, especially with the densities, and you'll see later on some of the parking and everything else. We're going to have to look at this site, in its entirety. So the applicant is proposing a 3-story self-storage building, just over, it's 70,500 square feet. Again, located on Deerfield Road. The portion highlighted in green is the parcel of land within Sycamore Township, and it extends back and to the west here along 275 into the city of Blue Ash. This is our zoning map. The area in Sycamore Township is all zoned F, light industrial. Immediately across the street is actually the Schuler Sports Complex, and then catty corner to the north from that is Fire Station 93. Okay. So the original plan that was submitted to zoning commission had some additional uses on the Blue Ash side. So I'll go over this very briefly. As you can see, the 70,500 square foot building is wholly on the Sycamore Township side of the property. Actually, let me see if I can get a pointer here. There we go. So the property is bisected, or the plan is bisected right here by the township boundary. The building meets all setbacks for our zoning, even internally, with this boundary between the 2 jurisdictions. So this is the plan that was revised and submitted, received by us October 29th. The front of this property, the portion again in Sycamore Township, has largely stayed the same. The parking requirements for this building are actually going to be located on the Blue Ash side. They required, I believe, 7 parking spaces, and they are providing those, but they will be on the. I'm sorry, 8 spaces were required, 11 is being provided, and those are wholly on the Blue Ash side. Additionally, outdoor dumpster area, it is being enclosed. It does meet Sycamore Township zoning standards, but that is also on the Blue Ash side of the property. The applicant has actually done a very good job of identifying and doing their own landscape calculation for our yard buffers. They have the correct number of plantings along the southern boundary, along the streetscape, and due to the limited nature of the area here, as well as the position of this property to the north, they're doing their best they can to identify the existing landscaping along here, which was found to be on their property as well. So,
What are the uses of the properties to the north and south of that? I don't remember specifically what's there.
yeah, I believe this is a, gosh, I knew it. I think that is a roofing company. Yeah, drywall and roof company here. And then to the south is a pet groomer. Yep. So, yeah, highway along here on the Blue Ash side. All of the drainage, the detention basin, that's all on the Blue Ash side. Let's see. We received comments from outside agencies. There's nothing really outside of standard comments that we typically get for these developments. If this is approved tonight, all other agencies with their various jurisdictions will still need to review the site and approve. Let's see here. Kind of losing my train of thought here. I'll show you the elevations very quickly. So this is the west elevation. This is the back of the building, what you would see from the Blue Ash side of the property. As you can see, first floor does have some overhead roll-up doors to accommodate larger storage areas. You have multiple access to the interior of the building, where the majority of the storage here is only accessible on foot. So, northern elevation of the property. Let's see here. East elevation. So this is what you're actually going to see from from Deerfield Road. Okay. On the southern elevation, they do have one sign showing Cherokee storage, so that'll be facing out
To the highway?
to the highway. Yeah.
Is this feedback we're getting in the room interfering with the stream?
Yes, considerably.
Okay. Not sure how we're going to be able to fix that.
Yeah. Did
Are the mics off, Rob? And we're all talking to the middle of the room.
No, all of your mics are live.
Okay. All right.
did Mr. Dahl turn his Zoom back on possibly? Or, Rob, we hear you coming
No,
through
he's
the speakerphone too.
muted. All right, I'll proceed. So the zoning commission, when they were reviewing the site, it was with the additional land use to the rear and Blue Ash of outdoor storage. There was concurrent to our review, Blue Ash Board of Zoning Appeals was reviewing the definition of vehicle storage, and it was basically a determination by their community development director that type of outdoor storage would not be permitted, which has instigated this change. So they've removed all the outdoor storage that would be behind this building and in Blue Ash, but that hasn't changed anything significant on the Sycamore Township side. So with the understanding that there would need to be some sort of guarantee that the aspects of this site that are supporting the Sycamore Township building, the zoning commission set the following conditions. So they recommended, if this moves forward for approval, a detailed landscape plan be submitted that meets all requirements of the Sycamore Township zoning resolution, including detailed planting schedule and off-site credits on adjoining parcels. This, the plan that was submitted is a good preliminary landscaping plan. It shows, I guess, categorically what types of plantings they would be, the number of plantings, but it doesn't actually call out specific types. I don't know if they're blue spruce or or pinyon pine. Not that that's what something would do, but you get the idea. So as part of the zoning compliance plan, we want that to be fleshed out and have more detail. That's something I can work with the developer, the applicant on.
Question as to that requirement. Is that only as to the portion of the project which is physically within Sycamore Township, or the overall site complying with ours? And can we require the overall site to do that?
I would say that we need to stick, as far as setting conditions, we need to make sure that we are simply enforcing that on our side. So we'll get into a little bit more of a complicated situation with the parking and drainage, but I think we have a good solution to that, and I'll get into that. But the landscaping aspects of it are wholly on the Sycamore Township portion. Any landscaping that they require will be Blue Ash's jurisdiction. Okay, so Sycamore Township Zoning Commission recommends approval of the off-site parking, and we're considering that off-site parking. An applicant provide an easement for required parking spaces. Copies of fully executed and recorded easements, including parking, ingress, egress, and drainage, shall be required for zoning compliance plan approval. So before we issue permits, zoning certificates, we want to see recorded easements. I think that's a good trigger point for them recording those. Township approval shall be conditioned upon successful approval of plan as proposed by the City of Blue Ash. Again, the plan has been modified to be compliant with their regulations to date, but we want to see that approval before we sign off on zoning compliance plan. Any substantial alterations to the Blue Ash side of the plan shall be shown on the zoning compliance plan. Same reasons. And then finally, applicant shall document existing trees along the northern property line within the area from the right-of-way line back to the building face. Any area that is within the boundary between the parcels, the applicant shall provide landscaping compliant with Sycamore Township boundary buffer requirements. So this is essentially giving the applicant a little bit of credit for existing trees that are there, and also waiving some of the landscaping requirement that would require this the landscaping to go back further, essentially up against an existing building. And it's really right on the property line.
Skylar, you said this was revised on the 29th of October. Did zoning see that since this has been revised?
No, zoning, so essentially, and this kind of happened with our last case with the Shell gas station, if you recall. Zoning commission set recommended conditions, all right, before it gets to the Board of Trustees for public hearing. The applicant has taken it upon themselves to go ahead and modify the plan to be, as compliant with those conditions as possible. So the Board of Trustees is getting the most up-to-date plan. I'm not necessarily encouraging this type of movement, but I think it it does facilitate better review, an opportunity for the trustees to, to see an applicant that's willing to work with the township. And honestly, if they check all the boxes, and address the concerns of zoning commission, it's a benefit to our process. So, while I'm not telling them they have to do it, I'm happy to accept those changes. Instead of waiting for zoning compliance plan, which is only me reviewing it.
Right.
So, okay. So, unless there's other questions for me, we'll try and clean up this feedback, and we'll allow the applicant to speak. Anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to mute us and just have Mr. Dole take over for now. So let's see here. All right, Brian, you can speak now.
Okay, great. Yes, hi, my name is Brian Dahl. I'm with Cincinnati United Contractors at 7143 East Kemper Road, the applicant. And I think Mr. Miller did a good job of recapping everything. The thing I do want to add is the things that have changed since the first submission to the Zoning Commission is that affects the Sycamore Township side. It's basically, we have a screen fence that runs along the north property line. We have extended that past the A&A drywall building that's really close and stopped it where the existing vegetation and trees are. So there are 3 existing trees and about 5 existing shrubs right in that location. And then we were just going to leave those alone at that point. So that way, between the tree, shrubs, and fence, you have a screen along that part of the property. But other than that, it should be all the same on the Sycamore Township side. So there's no really any reason to repeat everything that Mr. Miller said. So with that, I'd like to open it up with any questions that trustees may have.
All right, we're unmuted.
We're unmuted. I was curious, did Amity drywall, I think it's Amity drywall, isn't it? A&A, yeah.
A&A.
You're right, A&A. Did they give us any indication what their thoughts were on this project, and also the pet groomer?
Yep, both were properly notified. We did not receive any comments from either neighboring property. We received 2 queries from residents, and that was it. They didn't speak for or against. They just called in and asked for basic information on the site.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
I don't have any other questions. I had to accept thank Brian for displaying that he wants to work with the township.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Could we see the renderings again of the Deerfield facing side?
The Deerfield facing side?
That'd be the east elevation.
Yep, right here.
Okay. All right, so the south facing toward 275, it has the windows, Cherokee storage. What's going on the roof on this? And is that visible from 275 because the roadway's a little elevated there, but at 3 stories, maybe not?
There's,
Go ahead, Brian.
There's going to be either a metal paneled roof or a rubber roof. We're not sure which one at this point. But we do have a parapet all the way around it, with the exception of the gutter side, which is on the west side of the
Okay.
building.
So, Brian, you, no mechanicals or anything on top? Or is the parapet hiding them?
If we had the mechanicals up there, they would be screened by that parapet wall.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And our zoning resolution does require that, so even with this approval, that would still be a standard that they would be held to. Yeah, you can see the parapet wall right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this climate-controlled storage? You may have said that and I missed that.
It is.
It is,
It is.
okay. So, just to be clear then, are there in fact mechanicals going on the roof, or where will the air conditioning equipment be?
So we haven't decided that yet, but it'll either be roof-mounted condensers or floor-mounted condensers on the first floor outside.
Okay, and do we require shielding of that for a commercial building?
We do. There's mechanical screening requirements. Again, that falls into standard regulations that we have.
Okay.
Yeah. So wherever the units are, we intend to fully screen those.
Very good, very good. Okay, no other questions?
I guess the only other thing I didn't talk about, let's see here. It's actually not on this plan. Hang on one second. There is one freestanding sign on the site. It's a monument sign. Let's see if I can. It's a monument sign that'll be out on Deerfield Road.
It's on the site plan.
Yeah, it is indicated on the site plan. I just wanted to show them what it looked like.
Okay.
So that will be out by the road. You can see, yeah, right here. So just right there south of the ingress egress.
Actually, that does lead to another question. Then. What about the site lighting? Have you looked at a plan for that? I know lighting's been a hot topic recently, and some things abutting neighborhoods. Here we're in a more commercial region. But
The applicant did submit a photometric plan for site lighting. It's mostly zero along properties. We do allow for. Our code does allow for a half foot candle at the property lines. So we, as a condition of approval with other developments, especially next to residential, there's a stricter condition has been set. But the current photometric plan does meet code. I can pull that up if you'd like.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But that wasn't included in the application document.
Right.
No, it's,
Yeah, next to the highway. So.
Yeah, I don't think anywhere it actually hits the half. I think there was maybe a couple spots along the northern property. Essentially, I think in this area we were hitting 0.2, 0.3, but it was up against the that building.
Is that actually two parcels?
Our side is one parcel, I believe. Let me pull this down. Our parcel is, or our portion of it is just one. The Blue Ash side, I believe there's some smaller pieces that comprise that the western half of the site. So.
anything else? Just want to wrap it up?
I think we can wrap it up.
Okay.
And there was no public comment, no one waiting.
Again, there was no public comment. No one asked to attend the meeting.
Someone had informed me earlier he might be doing that and contacting you. You weren't contacted though?
By who?
Mr. Janus?
He and I spoke on it, as well as Ms. Kathy Kugler.
Okay.
I spoke to both of them. It was a short Q&A.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure they weren't trying to get in and were blocked out and something.
Nope.
So, okay,
And
very good, very good.
Neither expressed any detrimental concerns.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing for zoning case 2020-06P2. Mr. Dole will be giving you an answer early in our meeting. Our meeting begins at 7. It'll be at the probably third or fourth item down. So we'll be discussing new business and giving you a yes or no at that time. Okay? Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
And the time, mark your time at 6:31.